Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, September the 28th, 2023. Thursday, September the 28th. Well, let's see. I'm trying to see if I have pictures for Thursday, the 28th for comment corner. Well, not even for comment corner for these daily recaps. And let's see, do I? Thursday, nope, don't have them. And I'm going to tell you why I don't have pictures uh daily recap fans. I'm moving and I can only do so much, right? To get pictures ready for a daily recap, especially 4 or 5 of them, I lose about an hour because I got to watch the show, snip, Photoshop. I'll just, oh my goodness. But just to make my show unique, I love doing the pictures. That's what I like, me being set apart. But right now, I'm getting too behind trying to not have time to do pictures. So I'm just going to go ahead through next week. I'm going to just be given the recap of The Young and the Restless. I won't take the time because that's what's holding me back is I have not had time to do all that Photoshop, right? I'm barely keeping up with GH. So anyway, let's get down to it. Chance got the promotion of chief of police. Yes, he did. And he runs into Summer and he tells her he's so excited that he wish he could celebrate the news with Sharon, but Sharon is out of town. Remember, she couldn't go because of the storm. Sharon's out of town. Well, Summer says, well, hey, you know what? Why don't we celebrate? I will buy you some lunch. And he goes, well, okay. So he buys him lunch. They're sitting there having a great lunch. She's not really making any overtures towards him, just trying to wiggle her way in that friend door, right? So Nick comes up and he sees that, they're having a good lunch and he's like, so what's going on here? She goes, hey, Dad, having lunch? And he goes, I see. And so Chance was like, yeah, we were celebrating. I think he told him he got, chief, uh, interim chief, really. It's not his job for good, I don't think. I think he's interim. No, I think he's interim chief. So Nick congratulates him. Either that or I'm making all that up because I really can't remember. But I think he told Nick and Nick congratulated him. But Chance leaves, right? And Nick sits and he talks to Summer. And Summer tells Nick that she wants to know, is there still a job? Is there a job for her mother? Still at him and Sharon's company. And he goes, ooh, wait, look, I haven't even spoken to your mother since the whole dead deal. And I'm not trying to. And she goes, Dad, she needs a job. And you know how mom gets if she has nothing to keep her busy. And he goes, yeah, I know. I don't know if I want to. He goes, Dad, do it for me. And he goes, look, I'm not making you any promises, Summer, but I will talk to Sharon about it. So she goes, okay, fair enough. That's all she could ask for is that. So we have the Nikki talks to Nick, pretty much uh asking him to come back to Newman Media. And Nick's like, no, I'm not coming back, Mom. It's just out the question. So she goes, has your sister reached out to you? He goes, yeah. He goes, she wants you as an ally, right? He goes, but I'm not getting involved. She says, Nicholas, you know what? I'm not asking you to come back to get involved in any drama, but this is a family. He goes, Mom, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And there's a bunch of chaos getting ready to happen. And I don't want to be involved with it. She goes, then you know what? What I want you to do then is show up as family. Visit your father. Make sure you check on your father to get your feel. She said, because your sister seems to feel he's got some kind of mental, it's going to be too much stress and he can't handle it mentally. Nikki says, I don't feel that way. She said, but however, you assess it for yourself. Ask his son, Nicholas. Just ask his son. And Nicholas was like, you know what? I could do that. I could definitely do that, mom. Right? So they leave it there. Now, Tucker calls Phyllis to come and complete the job, right? And Phyllis, well, he's where he takes Jabot. Phyllis is like, well, I don't know if she like what he's doing. You're gonna pay me my money. And Phil, what he says is she finished the job, but he says he still wants to work with her, and they got more to do. And she goes, no, I'm out. I'm out because he's transferred the money done. What I didn't like is Phyllis didn't check her bank account, right? She didn't hear a ding that another million came into her bank, right? But anyway, she finishes the job. And at Jabot, Jack believed that Billy wasn't embezzling, but in real time, they now saw the money go from that account they don't use into Billy's personal account. Now, Billy's standing right there and I've been there talking to Jack. And he goes, okay, Jack goes, now the money's in your account. And he goes, it's Phyllis, Jack. Phyllis is working with Tucker, right? And they are not done. I don't know why they're targeting me, but I'm not going to be the only one. And Jack looks like, shoot. Next thing it can look like I'm in bed, And so he's looking like, uh-oh. Or, oh my goodness, she make it look like Diane is embezzling, right? But they still have no proof it's Phyllis, but they know it's Phyllis, right? Because the laptop and the IP address is going to be the GCAC, unless she's probably using a VPN. But she said the computer she purchased in Tucker's name, that laptop. So he looked at her. So, right, and he goes, if you don't, he goes, work with me. See, I'm not just taking over Jabot. If you care about your daughter, you'll be involved. She goes, what do you mean about my daughter? And he goes, Marchetti is the first thing I'm going to cut. And Phyllis is looking. Right? But she didn't say, oh, yeah, I'm going to work with you. Right? But she's just looking. She goes, you better not do anything to, he goes, well, I don't need fat. He goes, look, for one, it's bad enough as a cosmetics company. I definitely don't need fashion. Now, let me see. Does Marchetti need Jabot? Marchetti was an established company, right? It has done well under the Jabot umbrella. However, Summer has been running it and running it well. I'm sorry, if Jabot cuts her loose, who is Summer? Summer's a Newman. Period. Grandpa will set her up. Now, he won't fold it under Newman because Newman's not fashion. Remember when he was trying to run Jabot out of business and he made a cosmetics company, which is what Victoria tanked. I think that was Brash and Sassy, right? Yeah, Brash and Sassy. Brash and Sassy. So they don't need fashion. But Grandpa, and I'm sorry, if Daddy Dearest Nicholas can float his girlfriend millions to start her design company, who do you think would help Summer? Grandpa and Daddy. Summer doesn't need you both. See, Phyllis isn't thinking. Cut it loose. We'll pick it up. I'll make sure my daughter land on her feet, and I don't want my daughter's company under controlling you anyway. Right? But anyway, we'll see. So Phyllis then goes and she makes a call and she makes sure that the insurance company is paid in full. So that debt is off her back. That $2 million, oh, she's done, right? and she doesn't have to worry about that. But she's sitting at the jazz lounge, just sitting there, kind of, for one, regretting what she has done now. She's opened up a can of worms. She does still care about Jack. And now her summer's company is there. So she's worried. And then all of a sudden, what you hear behind her, Danny Romalotti says, looks like you could use a friend. And she puts her phone down and she looks up at him like, wait, what? Who? What are you doing here? Right? So, that's pretty much, what else happened? Nikki. Now, to me, Nikki's gone too far. She's dangerous for a lawsuit, for a wrongful termination lawsuit, period. Force her to fire you, Audra, then sue him. Right? Well, what happened is Nikki walks into the GCAC. She sees Audra and Tucker talking. And she looks and she walks over, or Audra looks at her. Or Nikki, I think, maybe walked up to Audra. And Tucker stands up. And she goes, what are you doing talking to him? And she just looked, Tucker and I are friends, right? So Tucker looks at Audra and says, I'll talk to you about that matter later. And she's like, she gets it, like, Tucker, okay. So Nikki says, can I have a word with you, Audra? And she's like, oh my God. So she sits down and then she tells her, you and Tucker are friends. You need to end that. You need to stay away from him. She goes, you know what, Mrs. Newman? Tucker and I have known each other for a long time. Tucker has been a mentor to me for many years. And Nikki says, well, I hope to become your mentor. And she looks at Nikki. She says, but you know what, Mrs. Newman? I'm beginning to feel like my personal life is being dictated. See, first, you told me who I could date and who I couldn't date. Now you're telling me who I can't be friends with. Can you provide me a list of the people that I can talk to? And Nikki looks at her and she says, well, no, Audra. I'm just trying to look out for your best interest. I think that's when she said, I want to be a mentor to you, or whatever she says, right? And so Audra's like, I don't like feeling suffocated. I don't like that. So I really think Nikki just might back off a bit, because I'm telling you, she's on dangerous ground. Dangerous ground. So that's pretty much it for Thursday, September the 28th. I have one comment from Comment Corner. Judith says, Nick has Victoria's number. She's faking now. Yes, she is. Being nice to Victor. A leopard doesn't change a spot. Victor is using Adam to spy on Nate because he doesn't trust him. I think Victor's using both of them to spy on each other. That's really what I think is going on. So anyway, everybody, that is it. That's it for the daily recap of The Young and the Restless. I will be back for another daily recap.